Oh, I loved every second of it. It just was over so quickly. I kind of blinked and I was like, that can't be it. Can't wait to do it again. Really, really looking forward to it. The next morning I was riding out as per usual. And actually I ride Royal Etiquette now and again in training, so it's quite fun to be here and to see him run.
Tell me, compared to cycling, how much more difficult as a sport is it to be a rider than a cyclist? To get to that real sort of peak, what do you have to put more effort into, would you say?
It's completely different. I mean, obviously adding the variable of having a horse with a brain and its own ideas of what it would like to and not like to do is one of the biggest challenges, in building that sort of rapport with the horse and knowing how to get the best out of it, I think is really challenging, and something you can only learn probably over many, many years of riding. To be able to jump on a horse you don't really know and find out what makes it tick is something very special. And yeah, in complete awe of champion riders, really, or anybody really that can do that. I'm only getting to know a few horses at Lawneys, and it really makes a difference when you know them and know their little personality and how to ride them, because they all move so differently as well. So for me, every day is a new experience, and I'm learning so much. It just goes to show like how many years you have to put in before you really get to a stage where you can just turn up and ride any horse. It's quite incredible.
So I suppose, say in the Olympics, your bike is a magnificent piece of equipment, but you kind of know what it can deliver for you, whereas with a horse, like a human being, the horse could wake up and not feel up for it that day, and you are relying on something else to perform as well as yourself.
Yeah, you're relying on a partnership and a trust, a two-way trust, really. It has to trust you and you have to trust it, which is quite crazy. I mean, my bikes were made to measure. It's not like I'm going to get a horse made to measure, is it? So it's completely different challenge, completely different skill, and very physically demanding. I think a lot of people out there who aren't involved with racing, or have maybe never ridden a horse, they just enjoy watching the racing, maybe watching the horses, which is what I used to do. But knowing the physical demands of it, it's very, very challenging to be a jockey.
Just an equisiser. You can be knackered after 30 seconds.
It's incredible. The equisiser is so tough, and I would recommend anyone to have a go and just see what it feels like, because it's a real deep lactic acid burn. Like, it's very challenging, and I think people underestimate how physically demanding being a jockey is.
Joy, you've done one thing. You've done it in some ways. You've reached the track. You've gone down in a race safely. You ran on nicely through. Riding in the Foxhounds, there will be something completely different. Did that show you just what a massive step there is still to take?
Of course. I mean, we knew that it was just one step at a time and just ticking the boxes of the plan and the progress and what I needed to achieve in a flat race. Obviously, a charity flat race is the first step, and I know there's many, many more rungs to go. If I manage to qualify and get there on the day, it would be like I've already won, because that in itself is a massive expectation and a very unrealistic achievement, really. So I'm just going to try my best and see how it goes. I already feel like I've won in some ways. Just to be given the opportunity. I feel very blessed and very lucky and very honoured to be given this opportunity, because I've loved every second of it, and I just can't wait to ride out tomorrow morning. And I wake up every morning feeling that way. I cannot. If I'd have had an opportunity to be involved with horses at a younger age, I'm sure I would have pursued it above cycling.
We might not have an Olympic champion.
I definitely wouldn't have been on the track.